Hey, Tony Gas here. I am in Costa Rica, which my YouTube folks know that, but I haven't posted about it. But wanted to pop in another video for y'all because got to keep you know, the work going. Even though we over here and we have an amazing time, so stay tuned for the next time I announce a retreat for sometime in 2026, maybe around the same time in 2026. And I like to do just random little stuff, so stay tuned. Also, still have through October, still have the steeply discounted one-on-one sessions. You'll see it in the description. And doing a in-person event in January in Central Florida. So with that in-person event, listen closely. The $97 ticket is the in-person event. The $47 is virtual. So don't buy a $47 and try to come to the event. That is for virtual, watching online on Zoom. And then the $97 is in person. And then when you log in, if you buy the $97, you log in the curriculum, you'll see the link for the Friday night dinner, which is only open to 10 people. So if you don't have a ticket for that, then you're gonna miss that. So it's only open for 10 people. If I make the mistake and more people than 10 buy it, then I just have to get a bigger space, bigger restaurant. But that's what we're doing with there. But I wanted to talk to y'all about this because this comes up a lot. And I hear women say all the time, oh, I pay attention to how a man treat his mom. And that's going to tell me a lot about how he treats me. And I want you to really understand and realize that how a man treats his mother, although there are men who treat their mom good and they treat their girlfriend or their wife good, that is not something that's a guarantee, nor does it even really correlate. And the main reason why is because you are not his mom. So I want you to understand that first and foremost, you are not his mom. So and I'm gonna give you an example that's kind of paint this picture. I know a guy who always had his mom around. Like, I was working for an organization. He was a employee of the organization. And this guy would have his mom around for everything. Like anytime we was doing something, he had his mom there. Anytime we was flying somewhere, as an organization, he had his mom on the plane. The only guy that did that. And guess what? He used and dogged out women more than any other man. So he was close to his mom. She was his person. Like, she was the one he wanted to be a blessing to, put on, like, I'm doing this for you, mama. But did not treat women like that. Did not treat women right, and still to this day is not married. And this was 10 years ago. And he's still not married. Was grown then, grown now, even more grown now. So I want you to understand, a man also could be very distant from his mom, could not even talk to his mom, and then will treat his wife like a queen. And you might think, well, why is that and how is that? Well, the reason why and how is because a man could have a lot of trauma from his mom. His mom could have been ill to him. His mom could have had men around him that did not value him or treat him nicely. So he could absolutely not have any respect for his mom, but get with his wife and have all the respect in the world for her because he has a fresh start and he has a real woman in his life. So I want you to understand that you can't don't get caught up in the movies. And one thing I learned, men and women, a lot of men and women are taught how to think and what to believe based on a movie. I'll never forget a guy, he was like, yeah, I gotta see a woman's feet. I was like, why does what her feet look like matter? He said, well, there was this movie called Boomerang, I think he said, with Eddie Murphy. And anytime he got a woman in the bed, he would pull the sheets up and look at her feet. And I'll be honest with you, like, that's more so a gay man trait, because a woman's feet ain't got nothing to do. Like, think about it. It's a gay man that's aesthetically worried about a foot. Like, a heterosexual man ain't worried about no woman's feet made for walking. So a heterosexual man not worried about her feet because he worried about her vajay and how that work. If that is stitched up and don't work, now you got a problem. But her feet, how your little corn, how your little bunion, how your little crooked toe, crooked letter, how your little, the little overlapping toe, how your little bent up toe. It's like, okay, got nothing to do with nothing. But a man who is gay and tapped into his feminine, and he's so worried about aesthetics and looks, he focus on feet. Now, I'm not saying every man that is like that is gay, but I'm telling those men that is a gay trait. So if you're a heterosexual man, you need to let that go. You need to let that go. Do she have a brain, conversation skills, humility? Is she somebody you could build with? Does she have a vajay and not a dang-a-lang? Okay, that's what you need to focus on. And that's the thing, but that stuff come from a movie. Remember the movie, was it Bronx Tale, where the man he opened the door for the woman, let her in, close her door, she leaned over and unlocked the door for him, lift up the handle for him. And so people started, back in before power locks or whatever, people was really looking for that. And when that movie came out, people were looking for that and people was talking about that. And I never forget, I heard a man say, and he didn't realize, like, bro, I know that's from a movie. Talking about, yeah, how I know a woman to want is if I open her door and let her in, she'll lean over and unlock my door. Like, what? Like, and this could have been before power locks when I heard that. But think about it, like, bro, that's from a movie. That's from a writer who had writer's block and he was tired. It was late at night when he was writing. He said, oh, let me just put this in here. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So I want y'all to understand, like, stop basing stuff. Judge a person for that person. You might meet a man who cuss his mama out and will treat you like an absolute queen. You might meet a man who drank his mama dirty bath water with a broke straw and will treat you like absolute dog crap. And when I say, cuss his mama out, I'm not saying that that's okay or that that's right or that, every man who cuss their mama out finna be good to you. But what I'm saying is, when you hear some of these men's story around their mom, and their mom was on drugs, their mom had them in the trap house, in the dope house, their mom had these random men in and out their house. Sometimes these men touched the boy, touched this man when he was a little boy. Sometimes these men watched these other men beat on their mama when they was a boy. And they seen their mama do so much different stuff to where they like, man, what's going on? And that's one of those things to where you have to really think about and process. You got to really get to that place to where you really start to, see and understand that it's not always what it seems. And you got to get to know a man for him. And you got to learn his story. And you got to judge him based on how he treats you. Now, if he nasty to people who've never done anything to him, that will actually, like a waitress or a waiter or a customer service agent, that says more about him as a man than his relationship with his mama. That says more about, because you don't know what him and his mama got going on. You don't know their history. So that's what you got to realize and understand. So I want you to think about this. Think about this. Really get this in your spirit. And really start to process this. Really start to dive a little deeper and understand that you're going to have to be very intentional in reading a man and seeing who he is as a man and getting to know him. Like me and my mama, I treat my wife like a queen, and me and my mama, she texts me a lot. So we text every week, sometimes almost every day, but I'm also my mom's provider in the sense of I give her money every month to live. And that's my mama. And that's because she's not married. And so she also would probably just text me even if I didn't give her money, just because she's loving like that. But we might talk on the phone once a month. Literally. Because of my schedule and everything I got going on. And it's like after I get done working to pay the bills, then I'm with my wife and my kids. And I don't oftentimes have time to get on the phone. And so a woman could look at that and be like, oh, he too distant from his mama. Oh, he don't talk to his mama enough. Him and his mama never talk on the phone, so he finna treat me like crap. And it's just not true. So I want you to think about that, and I want you to realize and understand that you have to take, in this day and age, take all the preconceived notions, take all the little gimmick stuff, take all the little mammy lane stuff, take all the movie stuff, take all this social media crap, take all of it, throw it out the window, and get to know a man for himself, for who he is and for how he treats you. Understand that you're not his mama. In a good way or a bad way, you did not give birth to him. You did not clothe him. You did not feed him. You did not break your back for him. You did not sacrifice for him. So just because he is good to his mom does not mean he's going to be good to you. Also, you did not abuse him. You did not put him in harm's way. You did not abandon him. So just because he is distant or has no relationship or is not good to his mom does not mean he's gonna be bad towards you. It's just like how some men could have not had a father, and because their father abandoned them, they closer to their kids than anybody. Because they know what it feels like to be not wanted or to be abandoned. So it made them the absolute best father in the world. So it actually had an opposite effect. So I want you to think about that. Whereas a man could be so amazing to his mom, and you could never live up to his mom because you ain't do what she did for him, and he comparing y'all as if you had the chance to do what his mama did. And now you taking hits that you don't deserve because of how he looking at you. So, hey, this Tony Gasson, God bless you, over here, doing our thing. Pay attention when I release the next retreat. Be ready to put your deposit down. If you want to join us, have an amazing time. Just had us a great dinner, had a great talk. And, we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. And all the important links in the description. So God bless you. Keep your head up. We'll talk soon.